Hello Internet, I'm Matt Haas and this is Awesome Wood Things. I made this cutting board, so freaking cool. This is what my channel is all about. Cutting boards, they're cool. Cutting boards with 8-bit video games, awesome. I did this in conjunction with James Wright over at the Wood by Wright channel. He too made a cutting board with a Pac-Man character on it. He did the ghost. We both made 2 boards and we're going to mail each other the other board. So freaking cool. Of course, James only used hand tools when he made his cutting board, and you can watch that exhausting process over there. I'm pro maker. Hand tool, good. Power tool, good. All good in my book. Stick around, I'll show you how I made it.
All right, so here's my plan. I've identified each row with the number of dark and light squares. And I'm attacking this row by row. So you can see row B and row N are identical. So I need 2 of these. I need 2 of all of them. That's the idea. So I have all of these pieces, and that should make up the entire cutting board. Here's a typical piece. So this is enough for 4 rows if I have the cutting board being about 1.5 inches each. So I cut this into 4 strips that can represent 1, 2, and then again for the second board. The only measurement that's accurate is this distance. I have to make these, see how these are rectangular? I have to figure out how to make these completely square. And the way I have these glued up, you know, this edge isn't perfect, nor is that edge. There are a lot of tutorials on how to build cutting boards, but cutting boards with a unique shape that isn't just a checkerboard pattern or some variation, not a whole lot out there. So I'm making it up as I go. I use my edge jointing table saw jig to cut the end of the board at a perfect 90-degree angle. I'll need a smooth flat edge to ride up against the fence in the next operation. All of the panels get cut down to about 1.5 inches. That will be how thick the cutting board is. Here's what I got after that operation. All of the pieces. I used the edge jointing jig again to make sure one side is completely flat. And I had some concerns with this operation since the workpiece is standing upright. I thought maybe halfway through the cut the piece would fall over and cause problems, but it held it perfectly. The flat edge once again rides along the table saw fence, and the result is a perfect 3/4 inch square pixel. I quickly assemble the board because at this point I'm dying to see what it looks like, and I'm really happy with it so far. And here's the glue up stage. I make sure to align everything as best I can and fix anything that squeezes out of place. I sanded off the glue squeeze out because I thought the next operations will go a little bit easier if I did that. Planing end grain can be a serious problem, so I only removed the smallest amount of material I could and did this many times. I trimmed up the sides of the board on my table saw. I rounded over the corners on the router table. I used some butcher block conditioner. Oh man, that makes the wood pop. I did this several times. On the back of the board, I added some non-skid pads. First, I marked where I wanted them to go, drilled some holes, and then drove the screws in. And it's done. So nice.